So the fight everybody wants to see. Jake Paul versus Andrew Tate. Jake Paul with an undefeated professional boxing record. Now some say, oh, Jake Paul didn't fight real boxers. Whatever. The MMA fighters he fought would beat the shit out of Andrew Tate. How about that? We're going to pull that because everybody's, oh, Andrew Tate is a kickboxer in Iska. Who cares? He fought bums. He beat a bunch of bums, and he did it in kickboxing. Literally nobody cares about kickboxing. Jake Paul beat legitimate fighters, UFC fighters, fighters who are way above Andrew Tate level. I got Jake Paul in the first round, maybe the second if he plays around. Jake Paul hands are way better than Andrew Tate. If you don't listen, do not look at these videos that they cut out the video and they show you this one punch and look at Andrew Tate, the knockout master, and fuck that. Go watch Andrew Tate's fights. His hands are trash. His kicks are trash too. He's a trash fighter. Go watch the whole fight. Don't just watch part of the fight. Go watch the whole fight. Head movements, trash. Ring vision, trash. Hand speed, accuracy, trash. No power. He's garbage. The problem is he's fighting fighters that are even more garbage. Jake Paul's quality of opponents are better than Andrew Tate's quality of opponents. So you can sit here and say, oh, well, he was a champion. He's a champion in Iska with a bunch of bums. Jake Paul's an undefeated pro boxer. Yes, some of the guys he fought are not pro boxers, but he fought MMA fighters who are way better strikers and way better fighters than Andrew Tate. I got Jake Paul in the first round, maybe the second, but let me tell you what's going to happen. Andrew Tate's going to come up with an excuse. He's going to pull out the fight. He's going to say, I'm retired from fighting, or I'm too old, or he's a YouTube star. Jake Paul's not on my level. Jake Paul's been calling him out all week. Andrew Tate is going to duck this fight. I guarantee you. And he's going to have an excuse, and his groupies and his fanboys are going to come back and go, oh, well, you know, he's too old to fight, and he's not a boxer. He's a kick. Shut up. Shut up. Don't nobody want to hear that. Jake Paul has better hands, better speed, better accuracy, and better power than Andrew Tate. He's also in better shape. He's a better fighter. I don't care what anybody says. His quality of opponents, the MMA fighters that Jake Paul fought, some of them were strikers, would beat Andrew Tate. And Jake Paul beat them. Andrew Tate ain't no better than Nate Robinson. That's how I look at it. I seen Andrew Tate's fights. I mean, you got to really watch his fights to understand like what's going on here. You got to pull up some of his matches and actually look at it. I mean, he fighting convenience store workers, dudes that came from the bar 3 hours ago, dudes that have no training. Jake Paul fought guys that have been training fighting for 20 years, and Jake Paul won. And they're like, oh, well, you know, the Jake Paul had a contract and no, he didn't. There's a reason why these boxers are ducking Jake Paul, because they don't want to lose to a YouTube star. One thing I can tell you, look on Jake Paul's pages, well, TikToks, or you just Google him, his YouTube, etc. He's always training. He's always in good shape. He's constantly out here training. Andrew Tate walk around smoking cigars and doing interviews about how cool he is and trying to convince you to get down with his pyramid scheme, which is really just pimping girls on the internet. Andrew Tate is not in the shape and has never had the skill level to beat Jake Paul. I don't care what anybody says. And I guarantee you, none of you Tate fanboys are going to put your money on Andrew Tate to beat Jake Paul in a boxing match. Jake Paul will put those hands on Andrew Tate and whoop him. And it won't even be close. Like I said, if you don't believe me, go watch Andrew Tate's fights. I'm not going to post them because I don't want to get a copyright. Maybe I'll do a review on them. I can do that. I can like watch it and review it as I'm watching it. Maybe I'll do an Andrew Tate fight review video tomorrow or the next day. Just so you can understand. You have to watch this guy. Listen, you can't watch the interviews and listen to the shit he says. You can't listen to, oh, I'm a 4-time kickboxing champion. And listen, he's a good talker, okay? He's a fucking charlatan. He's a snake oil salesman. That's what he is. He's going to sell you a dream. But the reality is that dream ain't true. Go watch his fights. Don't watch little cuts and go watch the fights. The guys he fights are terrible. And any guys he fought that were either mediocrely good, we're trashing him. Then he brings, you beat a UFC fighter. Yeah, you did. You kicked him in the leg. You got a lucky kick. You didn't knock him out. You got a lucky leg kick. The guy got an injury. It's like Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor lost the last fight, yeah. But Conor McGregor didn't really lose. Conor McGregor broke his leg. He hurt himself. Like, that's not really a win. We really don't know what would have happened in that fight. I don't like Conor McGregor. But he broke his leg. We don't know what would have happened. Same thing happened with Andrew Tate in his one victory against an actual UFC fighter. And the guy he beat has like 15 losses. He's a tomato can too. So Andrew Tate beats tomato cans. Jake Paul's hands are better. He's going to knock him out. And it's not going to be close. Go watch Andrew Tate's hand. Andrew Tate ain't got no hands, bro. None. Andrew Tate tells stories. As a matter of fact, he just did an interview on how there were 6 guys sitting on a car and him and his brother went out there and knocked all 6 guys. I watched the video. No, you didn't. You attacked 6 guys who didn't fight back. One guy was drunk. Your brother hit him and he fell against the wall. All the other guys were still standing up, running away. Nobody threw a punch except for these 2 scumbags who literally attacked the guys who were there. Now, were the guys wrong for sitting on the car? Yeah, of course. It's an expensive car. You shouldn't have been sitting on it, taking pictures, doing none of that shit. But you came out and just attacked them and they ran. They were a bunch of punks and you basically bullied them and now you do an interview about it like you're some type of, like you're fucking Batman. Like you went out there and fought 6 people. That's literally not what happened. Andrew Tate caps so hard. You smoke cigars all day. You eat garbage. You are not in good shape. Your lungs are dying. You smoke. That alone is telling me you're not going to last with Jake Paul. You can't smoke come into a boxing match. He's going to get wrecked. If you think Andrew Tate's going to win, you're just a groupie. There's no other. Go watch Andrew Tate fight and then go watch Jake Paul fight. Is Jake Paul the greatest boxer in the world? No, Jake Paul is not fucking Canelo. But holy shit, Jake Paul looks like Muhammad Ali next to Andrew Tate's fight videos. I got Jake Paul winning I got Jake Paul winning with a knockout in the first or second round. And it's not even going to be, I don't even see him sweating for this fight. And Jake Paul knows that. That's why Jake Paul's calling him. Jake Paul said he didn't know who Andrew Tate was. They asked him out to fight. Soon as he found out, Jake Paul started calling him out immediately. You don't see Jake Paul calling Canelo out. You don't see Jake Paul even saying he want to fight Tank. Because Jake Paul knows he's not beating one of these high-level boxers. He knows that. But damned if he don't know that he can beat Andrew Tate. He knows for a fact he can spank Andrew Tate. And then that's the end of Andrew Tate's career. Andrew Tate is not taking this fight. He's ducking it. He's pulling out. He's making all types of bullshit contract demands. He's going to ask for $20 million or some ridiculous shit. On the top, I'm worth so much money. I need 20 million to come out of retirement. I'm some bullshit that he knows is going to get turned down so that he can find a way to weasel himself out of this fight. Remember I said this. Andrew Tate's either going to weasel out or he's going to get knocked out in the first round. Because go watch Andrew Tate's fight videos. It's the most comical shit in the world. It's actually fucking comical.